Daughter, we were ready to go. We
Yep.
were waiting for late arrivals, but let's get going. First item on the agenda is public comment. Seeing members of the public here, so I hear no public comment. So next item is liaison comments. And so you're up, Madam
Mr.
First
Chair.
Selectman.
Thank you very much. First, I wanted to formally welcome on television Tina. Congratulations for the job and welcome. And
Thank you.
stay in touch with Town Hall. I'm sure you pop over anytime and visit. If you need anything, don't hesitate to call.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I also want to formally thank the Fire Department and the Fire Association for the support that I feel they've given me over the last couple of years and the commission. We've gotten through a lot, and there's still more to do, obviously, but I want to thank you all, especially budget-wise and working well with us to keeping the taxpayers being respectful and mindful of taxpayer dollars. So I thank you very much for that. And also just to thank the association for a lovely service for Bob Conniff on Saturday. It was just perfect in every way. So, thank you. I think that's it.
It really was impressive, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. The sirens alone were amazing. And I have a friend who lives up on Deepwood or near there. And she said that was amazing by his home. So I know the family, it meant a lot to the family. And his family here and his family there. So thank you.
Okay, so you have someplace else to be? You're not coming back?
Yeah, is that okay? I'll come back. Of course I'm going to come back.
It's okay, yeah.
Tom Handler is traveling this week, so he could not come. There is a Board of Finance meeting on Thursday, but Mika's going to go, I think, in my place. So I don't know. I haven't seen the agenda yet. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Is there anything on their agenda that
I don't know. I can try to.
concerns us?
I don't know.
Okay.
Did you have something on the Board of Selectmen last time? On that agenda? I don't think so.
Okay. When's the next Board of Selectmen meeting?
Second Wednesday of July, which I want to say the 10th, but just hold on.
So no meeting next week?
No, we have the nominating, the new board meets a week from Thursday, the 28th, to appoint new members of boards and commissions. And then the swearing-in ceremony is on the 29th, 3 o'clock at Town Hall.
Okay, so.
For all new.
I thought the.
That's kind of late, isn't it? Isn't it usually earlier? when they
No,
do the
it's-
board
No, we did
meeting?
it, June,
before.
June 30th last time. This is one day earlier.
So but I thought the Esposito report was the 25th?
Yeah, Monday. It's due Monday.
Oh, but okay, nothing, but not connected to a meeting.
Correct, no.
Okay, all right.
No, that's research gathering more than anything else. I should probably talk about that if you're gonna have an executive session. I prefer to discuss that. If you prefer to have an executive session, I prefer to discuss it.
We do intend to discuss security issues
That would be fine.
in executive session.
Okay.
So we understand that those are sensitive matters.
Mhm. Okay, what
Pose
did
a
you just
risk
ask me?
in the event of public discussion.
Mhm, thank you. You just asked me about, July 10th, I was right, is the next BOS meeting. The new board, first meeting is July 10th.
But the nominating meeting, the joint meeting for nominations,
Is June 27th.
Week from
Thursday.
Thursday, yep.
Week from this Thursday.
And the 28th is the swearing in.
And,
new members.
and so there's no other business on the 27th? Okay.
Let me just roll through the appointments. So I'm gonna dash over to Beecher Road School, if you don't mind, excuse me, and then I'll be back. I need my purse. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the chairman's report. And I really don't have anything to add other than my the colloquy with the first selectman just now. I would say that the Conniff Memorial was utterly fitting and appropriate, and a job well done by all involved. There are sad occasions, but you give people their due. It's a good thing. Okay, let's look at the financial statements. This being almost at the end of the fiscal year.
Are you good? Good.
No, I don't. Send those around, that's capital on the tunes.
Got this. We got everything.
We got it.
Okay.
So we'll be doing some line item transfers over the next few weeks. The one to look at, like we know, repair and maintenance, that line is over. I think it's more than 17,000 right now, so we anticipate that, we knew that. Boards knew that. The line I have to look into and understand from Tony is buyback sick. We didn't have anything in our budget for buyback sick. And it's almost $6,400. So it looks like it's a negative 6,400, but we never had buyback sick in the budget. It was somewhere else in another budget, not in the fire commission's budget, but it was somewhere else, so.
So they made an accounting change on that.
Yeah, so, but it looks like we're negative in that
Yeah.
account, and I don't think we are negative. I think it just gets relocated and it just didn't get moved over.
In other words, they changed what account it's coming out of, but didn't change the funding.
Well, I think the buyback sick is in another budget somewhere in the town, and he moved it over to this, but the money didn't get moved, even though it looks like it got spent.
And
on
is
this.
that actually that we're actually out of pocket on that?
I don't know.
I mean, did we actually buy back $6,400 worth of sick days?
Possibly. I'm not 100% sure how it works, to be honest with you. But yes, that's according to what that is, yes.
Okay. I was just, as opposed to being like just an accounting entry, but it's actual cash flow. Okay. Well, we'll find that out, right?
Yep. In natural gas, we're over a little bit, which we already got $5,000 for contingency to cover it, and we're over another couple thousand, which we'll figure out and cover somehow. Hydrants, we're gonna be negative into that account, which it's beyond our control.
And we always
That's RWA, and if there's any damage or repairs to the hydrants, that already puts us in negative into the hole, so that's where we are with that. And other than that, I think we're looking at a few negatives, we've got some positives left. We don't have all the bills in, not everything's 100% ordered for the year to cover the overages, because we wanted to make sure we could cover a lot of the overages, so we don't have to hit the town with coming up with added money to cover the budget, so, but I think it's pretty remarkable where we are compared to the year that we've had, how busy we were throughout the year.
No, the fact that we still have, at least on paper, 10% of our budget.
I don't think it's gonna be 10%, so.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so I don't want you to
understood.
say
All the
it's
bills
10%,
haven't come in yet, but
the
that's
bills haven't
still-
come in yet, we still have to order some stuff.
What about electric? Do you have an idea of where that's gonna end up? Because there's a fair amount left in that budget.
I think we're gonna owe 2 months, which
Yeah,
could be
that'll-
7,000
that'll
bucks.
wipe out
Yeah,
most of that.
it's not
Okay.
gonna have a ton left over, so hopefully we'll try to cover as much as we can cover, and they know we're gonna end up coming back for some. So, we're in pretty good shape. It looks worse than it is, but I think we'll help cover a lot of it. We're not gonna be able to cover it all, but it'd be good.
We got more tires coming?
We do, they're on order because what happens is when we order them, there's such a backlog on tires. There's such a backlog, I gotta find out from Jimmy when they're coming in.
So if they come in late, are we gonna be able to pay for them out of this year's budget?
Yeah. Yep. I wanna say we ordered the tires,
Okay.
5 months ago.
I mean, it's necessary, it's not like it's a discretionary item.
Right.
As you all will recall, we have to replace the tires whether they're worn or not, based on their age.
Might be something coming down where we may not have to replace them every 7 years. And maybe changing that, so, which would be pretty good.
But that's a national,
It's DOT, so,
DOT.
yep. So if they change it, then we won't have to abide by that, but once again, 7, 8, 9 years, you're gonna wanna replace them because of dry rot. And remember, it's not like a dump truck. These trucks hold all the weight, 365 days a year, 24/7. So
But
it's not
speaking
like
of-
it's working 8, 10 hours a day and sitting 10, 12 hours a day. It's working 24/7, 365.
but also speaking of dump trucks, it's worth repeating that the Public Works Department gets our used tires.
Yes.
And so they're not, they don't go to waste.
No. Yep.
So, that's, that
And
helps.
we don't get anything in return for that. I mean, there's no money that changes from department to department.
They're not buying the used tires from us.
Correct.
So, but it's it's a town expense, but it's not anyways, the town continues to get a benefit on the old tires.
Correct.
Okay, any other questions on the budget? Is there a capital machine, is there any anticipated expenses coming out of that?
Whole machine.
Yeah, top of the second page.
There is, so what you're looking at is if you look at the original appropriation of 12,000, okay? What happened was the Board of Finance and Board of Selectmen moved over money that they had left over from this year to fund some of next year's capital machine line budget. So they moved 12,800 into that, which we took that to buy, I want to say it was 21 minuters.
Okay.
So that's where that's coming from.
All right.
So that's why it's
posted
in
yet.
this budget, that's why it hasn't been paid for yet. We just
Okay.
ordered them last week.
All right. Capital non-recurring, any use there?
Nope.
Okay. Moving along to Chief's report.
Okay, we had the service here for Bob on Saturday. He had 44 years of service in the department. He was extremely active, basically right up until the day he died. So even though he didn't go out on a truck probably for the last 8 or 9 months, he was active with the association and the department,
By the way-
being on the executive board.
It doesn't seem like it's been that long since I saw him on,
It was
on call. It doesn't seem like 8 months. It seems,
He was active right up until the day he passed. So,
and the turnout from the members of the department was a very high percentage.
over 90%.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like counting people.
Yep. Apparatus report, we had to fix the fuel tank on engine 3. It rotted, the straps rotted, the tank rotted underneath the strap. So that got fixed and replaced. We didn't paint the tank to match the truck, we just put a tank on to get us through. And since the new truck's on order, we should take delivery sometime early next year. We had some other stuff going on with the trucks. We're gonna try to hold some of the stuff back until July. Some of the repairs and fixes that we're gonna need to from the new budget, so we don't drive this budget any deeper in than we already are. Engine 9, we were working on the specs. We're actually waiting for a drawing to come back, and then we can basically go over the specs, make any changes we want to, and then we'll hopefully go out to bid through HGAC, hopefully the same contract we used the last time, since it's working out okay this time. So as soon as I have that back, I'll let you know. Radio system upgrade. The radio system, we're gonna be changing over to the new system Wednesday, starting Wednesday. This is coming Wednesday, 2 days from now. And then hopefully we're gonna start testing sometime next week, late next week or the week after.
Isn't that backwards?
No, you have to
Test
turn the
first.
system, you have to turn the system on to be able to test it. It will still work, but we're still gonna be on both. We're gonna be on the analog side, just not gonna be on the digital side right now. So, so radio system upgrade. Workers' compensation, we still have some bills that are coming through for people that got hurt at fires and some other things. And we should probably talk about that at some point. What's happening is we get they're going to the hospital or they get treated. They end up getting bills months later, and then they're threatened to go to collections, and then we have to get involved and try to get the town along with us to call the comp company and get the bill paid right then and there. Sometimes it takes a few weeks or whatever, and they get another notice, but it can't affect somebody that's looking for a promotion. We had somebody looking for a promotion in their work, and when they do a financial background check, it pops up that they owe this and they're going to collections, so it does hurt them. So we need to somehow come up with something where they don't get into that spot where it affects their
So-
livelihood.
Procedurally, how does that happen?
So
I don't mean the
procedurally,
background
somebody,
check. I mean, someone gets hurt, they go to the hospital.
we fill out a first report of injury within 24 hours and we send it to workers' comp and to the town.
Right.
Then
But
they
now-
contact
now-
us, they contact the individual.
Now, but is the hospital putting it through the individual's regular health insurance because that's what they have on file?
So
And then that's getting.
what's happening
that's
is if
getting
they go to the
rejected.
hospital, you give your name, and what happens is there's not a case number yet for workers' comp. So what they do is if they type your name in and they see your medical insurance, they basically are grabbing it and they're using that until they get a comp number, and then you have to go back and forth and you gotta play
And then
this.
the health insurance carrier says this is a work-related injury, so they reject it. I'm gathering, I'm presuming.
No, the workers' comp usually doesn't reject it.
No, I meant the health insurance, not the workers.
Oh, health insurance?
Health
Usually they're pretty good. Usually they would pay, but then we have to go back and they have to get reimbursed. We have to almost go backwards before we can move forward again. But then what happens is usually, it's not much. It could be $2,000, it could be $1,500. And whether it's the ambulance bill or the hospital bill, they send the individual rate to collection, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they're
it's-
not getting bills, or they get the bills, we bring them in, and we submit them to comp to get them paid, and it falls through the wayside again, and then they get the bill
or
to
they
go
take
to
3 months to
collections.
pay, yeah.
Right, which is bad for the individual. No one should be affected.
Right, and then they've been whipsawed between the hospitals, the insurance company, carriers. All right, so how many do you have that are in this status right now?
2.
2? And we got any response from town hall or from the comp carrier?
Not right now. We will work on that this week, though.
Okay.
Got it on silence. Don't mind you. Don't do anything.
We do, moving forward, if we're done with that issue. We're getting a quote right now. We have the siren across the street burned out.
That's why we didn't hear it on Saturday?
That's why we didn't hear it Saturday. That's why you just didn't hear it when the call came through. The siren itself is good. It looks like it's just a controller and the contactor that triggers the siren. So that all has to be replaced, and we're probably gonna end up moving it over to here and putting it up into the cupola, which makes more sense than leaving it at the old building over there on the flat roof.
Can we
This
get
way the siren be protected under the cupola, and the new contactor and everything should be over here with the radio stuff.
And can you get parts?
We can't get parts for that. It's gotta be a whole brand new contactor. It's a box. It's maybe 18 by 18 inches. And it's got all the contactors and diodes and
mechanical
everything
siren?
else in there. Yes,
So it spins.
electric.
Hmm?
Electric. Yep.
All right, any news on the new apparatus?
Nope.
Is that 2?
No, it's, that's 3.
No,
No.
oh, 3.
Yep, no update on that. And 9, we're waiting on the drawing to come back.
Right. Dispatch is an ongoing concern.
It is.
We'll address that in executive session because of the security issues that it raises.
Okay. I think it's, the other thing to note, a little bit about IT, what I'm come to understand is, the town server is probably gonna end up coming over to the firehouse, into the radio, into the telecom room over here, so, 'cause it's got battery backup, generator power, it's got everything that they would need, it's in a cool environment. And there's gonna be a second server backup, redundant server over at the PD at the radio room outside, at the base of the tower. Not really sure how fire is gonna fit into this. Fire right now has nothing to do with it right now. What I understand, the police department and town hall need a bunch of infrastructure upgrades. That's where majority of the money is going. Basically, what we need to do is we need to upgrade our server. So our server, we're using SBS. SBS is no longer supported as of this year. So we don't have a choice. It's not budgeted, it's not in the budget. And we need to, at some point, we're gonna need to go back and get the money, or there is talk about sharing a server with town hall. which could work, basically would be on a virtual network. But there is a meeting I have to go to, I believe it's on the 27th or 28th of this month. And we'll figure out our next move, but the money that was approved last week and what's coming, I don't believe we're really part of, our server's not in that.
Are they talking about pulling you fiber from across, from here to across?
Can't
the
really
street?
tell you exactly what they're pulling.
But they were
I
talking
think they
about
have
that
to
at the
pull the
board,
I think they have to pull new fiber from the PD to town hall. The fiber that runs from here to the PD is 10 years old, it's not that old. I think it's.
No, but there was a
it's good.
capacity issue.
I think the capacity is fine from here to PD, I think it's more from the PD to town hall.
That sound about.
That's the issue.
Coming.
Okay. Any other questions for the chief? Activity report?
Did not have time to get it all together. I'll have it for you next month. So.
Have we been busy? I mean,
We've
generally
been,
speaking?
yeah, we've been generally everything's been the average for us. So
Good.
no really lately.
Oh, we weren't expecting you. Ah. Okay, fire marshal's report.
About 42 times, 31 inspections, 3 public education. I consulted 4 times. I had a referral to the building department. We had to write a letter for some violations that's why it says legal.
Where's that?
That's about it. Which one?
Halfway down the first page, almost to the bottom, second to the bottom.
Legal?
Yeah. I guess our people were out there on a call, and it looks like he was chopping up the building, making apartments in the house.
Yeah.
Nice. I have a question about the Woodbridge Plaza violations. So you got you did inspections at a number of units at 214 Amity Road,
Right.
but there's also a line for inspection generals.
Right.
So is that how does that happen as opposed to the individual units?
That's all the stuff in the hallway, all the public area
Oh, okay.
is the, what you call the plaza.
Yeah, okay. Never been in that hallway, so I have no idea.
He's got 2. He's got one upstairs, he has a hallway, and then he's got a little one stairs that come down to the front.
Never knew that either.
Well, if you come in,
Backside.
yeah, Selden.
Yep.
He has an entrance there, but one's up on the 2nd floor. But then he has a stairway that comes down the front also.
And those are all, yeah, because those don't have exterior doors on them.
No, there's one door off of Selden, and there's one door down to the front by Amity Road.
All right. Any other questions for the fire marshal? Moving right along. All right, next item on the agenda is executive session with regard to a pending claim and security issues regarding to emergency response. So I would entertain a motion to go into executive session. I'll make a motion. With the Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance liaisons present, as well as the chief and assistant chief and the fire marshal. So was there that motion? There was. Is there a second?
Second.